What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I'm Abe. This is EVE Online, and we're going to be talking about the Dominix fit that you might want to explore. And there isn't any one fit that's perfect for everybody, so I'm going to look at 4 different ones, and you can build and sort of mix and match your own accordingly. So why did I go with the Dominix? Because to replace the Vexor Navy issue, drones are a pretty hands-off approach. You don't have to buy ammo for them, so you can set yourself up out in a corner of space somewhere. And as long as you don't get your drones killed, you really don't need to resupply yourself unless you want to extract ammo or extract loot that you might have picked up while out ratting. So one of the most popular ships, and why I figured I'd start here, is the Dominix. And I went looking and I grabbed some fits from various other folks. One from HateLess, one from the level 4 mission channel, which is this, the channel's name is Fits for L4 Missions, just as a statement with spaces between the various words. And one of them is from Marque Dragon, who's another YouTuber and streamer. And then one is from a buddy, but this one was specifically designed around running the 10 out of 10 for Blood Raiders. So regardless, let's just start from the top and why the Dominix is a good ship for this. It's a battleship, which means you may need to train a little bit more for it. But the ship bonuses give you 10% per skill level to drone hit points and damage, and 7.5% to drone optimal range and tracking speed. So that's really good. So we'll just start from the top that I've got here, and I built all of these based off of stuff I found on eveworkbench.com and off of... yeah, I think just out of this channel here. I went looking at Marque Dragon's live shows channel, but he didn't have any fits posted specifically there, but there was a link to his Eve Workbench profile. So all right. So this fit is a shield fit, and it's getting its tracking enhancement for the drones from the low slots as opposed to the mids, which you'll see in some of these other fits. The only thing I've got in the cargo here are scripts for the sensor booster. And so right off the top, let's see here. View fitting. All right. So I'm just going to let this sit off on the side here. I know that my screen has a rather high resolution, and so reading things like this that are relatively small may be difficult. So I will walk through it verbally, and hopefully this will cover everything. So in the highs, they've got 4 drone link augmentors, and these are Tech 2 versions. And that's to increase the control range of the drones that you're using. And specifically, these are targeted to use and aiming to use sentry drones, which... let's see here. If we look under drones, sentry drones are a pretty long train. They're 1.25 or 1.28 million skill points, and you need the 5th level in order to use Tech 2. You can get faction drones if you don't have the skills for Tech 2, but you have all of the supporting drone skills. So if you don't want to train that out, go ahead and exercise that as an option. But keep that in mind as we're going through this. So I've got currently curators and wardens in here, but you're going to want to pick whatever drones are specific to the mission that you're running or to the rats that you're fighting against. So just to look at these, they're because of what we've got here, their optimal range is 118 kilometers. So I think what you'll see across many of these fits is that a lot of them are sniper fits. There's going to be a micro jump drive on all of the fits, and you're going to be sniping from afar. And if anything starts to get close to you, you should have in your drone base some small drones to combat any frigates or anything small that gets near you. And then you'll micro jump drive away, set up your sentries again, and then start fighting. So on the highs, you've got 4 drone link Augmentor 2s. You've got a sensor booster 2 in the mids, 2 adaptive invulnerability shield hardener. Those are Tech 2s. Again, though, if you want to cater this to whatever pirate you're attacking or whatever mission it is that you're doing, by all means, this is an opportunity to do so here. You don't need to have Omni tank necessarily. They've got an extra large shield booster that's a Tech 2 and a large micro jump drive. Now, theoretically, you're not going to need to do much shield boosting here. But this gives you a not an insignificant amount of repping for your shields. But you notice that your shield resistances are relatively low. I think the defensive capabilities of this ship are to stay as far away as possible and just not get shot or not get hit at all. Moving to the low slots, and you'll see some patterns here. We've got this build has 4 drone damage amplifiers that are Tech 2. They have diminishing returns, so the 4th one probably doesn't add a ton. But this build's got 4 and 3 omnidirectional tracking enhancers, and those are also Tech 2s. And then because there was a bit of a CPU problem, instead of additional large capacitor control circuit ones, they swapped those out for large processor overclocking unit ones. And these are all Tech 1 rigs. But so looking at this ship, if I've got 5 Tech 2 sentry drones out, now personally I'm using this character to demonstrate these fits because this character only has 16 or 17 million skill points. They are Omega, so they're going to be able to use some of the modules and ships that an Alpha wouldn't. But I just wanted to look at it from the standpoint of somebody who doesn't have a ton of skill points and maybe would have benefited from a VNI. But this is what it looks like. So I've got most of the drone skills. I don't have all of the support drone skills maximized, you'll see here. And I've just opened up Tech 2 drones for lights and mediums. Heavies are a long train, and so are sentries. So keep in mind that I don't have the 25% sentry drone damage bonus that would come from having the skill for those drones. So let's just do a kind of a comparison here. So 415 DPS is not a lot. You don't need to worry too much about your tank because you're going to be both controlling your drones from 135 kilometers or more away. Your targeting range is 125 kilometers, and that's without adding this script, which turns it to 154. So yeah, you don't need to tank too much, and this is basically what you're looking at. So you could have 2 flights of different sentries or backups for the sentries you do have, and then a good complement of lights and maybe even a few mediums if destroyers or cruisers get near you. That shouldn't happen. You should be picking them off before they get to you, but it might happen. So moving to the next build, this is again from that chat channel, the Fits for L4 missions. This one, you may note, is pretty different. It's going with armor tanking, but let's just walk through it. So, again, 2 Drone Link Augmentor Tech 2s in the highs, and then it's also got 4 425mm railguns, which have a long range to them, optimal of 72, and then a fall off of 100. So you're firing at stuff that's, 100 kilometers away, generally. Terrible tracking, though, because they're long-range weapons, so you want to keep that in mind. And let's see. Well, came with the tungsten charges in the bay, so we'll throw those in and see what that does for our damage. They've really decided to emphasize a cap-stable build. I don't know that that's necessary here, but let's just follow along. In the mids, they've got 3 cap recharger Tech 2s, an omnidirectional tracking link Tech 2, and a large micro jump drive. And then they've got tracking speed scripts for that. So that's in place of the omnidirectional tracking enhancers that the previous build had. You're going to want to give those sentry drones, and here they are again, additional tracking so that they can hit the smaller ships. And then in the lows, we've got tank for armor tanking, and then only 3 of the drone damage amplifier 2s. So they've got, excuse me, an energized adaptive nano membrane 2. This one's got explosive hardener and a kinetic hardener, both of which Tech 2. But you can make those, a reactive hardener or, another Omni tank option there as well if you want. And then they also have a large armor repairer too. So, again, I don't know how much you're going to be tanking or how much you should be tanking. The rigs, they've got a large capacitor control circuit 1, a large auxiliary nano pump 1, and a large ionic field projector 1. And this which is not common in a lot of builds for this ship or any really, is a maximum targeting range bonus rig. So alright, so this puts out 472 DPS. Of that, you know, the same basic amount is from the drones. So are you going to be doing a lot of DPS with these guns? No. It looks like you're doing 54 DPS, which is not much. Maybe just enough to take out frigates. But it's also something to consider that by having guns and by shooting at things, you're also drawing a little bit of aggro to yourself away from your drones, which, you know, is worth doing. So this would mostly be to take care of things that are coming closer to you, maybe, but the range on the guns is such that it wouldn't do that, so I'm not sure I totally understand that. It's such a piddly amount of DPS coming out of that. But anyway, for Marque Dragon's Sniper Dominix fit, this should look relatively familiar. It's like a combination of both. It too starts with 4 Drone Link Augmentor 2s in the high slots. You've got a large remote armor repairer 2, which is there in case you want to repair your sentries or your drones on the fly. And then he's got just a large tachyon modulated energy beam 1, which again, if you look at his description, is just to draw some aggro away from his drones. He's not doing any real damage with that, and we can, you know, put a random laser lens in there, and you know, we add 20 DPS. He's also got a micro warp drive. He's got a 500 MN micro warp drive 2. He also has a sensor booster 2. He's got 2 omnidirectional tracking link Tech 2s and a micro jump drive. So he's got more tracking in here and sensor boosting for his target. He's also included the scripts for scan resolution if you want faster targeting. And he's also included optimal range or tracking speed for both of these as well, in case you want to switch. He's also got it armor tanked, and he's got the reactive armor hardener and an adaptive nanoplating Tech 2. He's got 4 drone damage amplifier Tech 2s and a large armor repair Tech 2 as well. So, again, very similar. You're seeing a lot of the same stuff, which should give you an idea of how to build your own. He's included salvage drones so that he can salvage his own sites. He's very self-sufficient in that way. But again, you know, you've got sentries and small drones. So the fourth one, I won't spend too much time on. It's a remote rep build, but it's very tanky, or it was built to be very tanky, and add a lot of tracking. And so it was meant to work in pairs. So if you're going to 2-box a site, these two you can get 2 of these and have them both, like whoever's taking damage can be repaired by the other one, and also have their cap refilled by the other one. So, food for thought. I won't break this one totally out. If you want, I can, let's see, view fitting. I'll leave this on the side here for anybody who wants to, you know, pause the video and copy what's over here. But in general, this isn't what you would use for like most of your ratting. You'd use one of those other builds. So this is the Dominix, and this is, I think, what most people are using. Another ship is the Myrmidon, which is the battle cruiser for Galente, and that is somewhat less capable at the more difficult anomalies. So the Dominix may be your best bet starting out as a, you know, if this is what you want to do. And it's kind of hands-free. You can say, drop your drones, target, and then just, you know, let them clear everything out. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Hit me up with any questions you have or any suggestions for these builds. I'm not going to be using them in the short term, but somebody else, one of the other viewers might, and we can have a little discussion about it. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.